Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the 9malls Gadget Review channel. Today is an exciting day. I'm reviewing the As Seen on TV Samurai 360. Been wanting to review this knife for a while now, and I finally got my hands on it. It's the knife that rolls. So I'm going to cover, does this thing work? The quality of it. Does it cut? I have a lot of these vegetables right here. I'm going to cut these, but I was looking through the reviews, and it's pretty disturbing. Some of the pictures. One lady even had, I believe it was a woman. One lady had stitches in her finger, and a lot of people describe getting cut when they disassembled this knife, and they followed the directions perfectly, they said, yet they got these deep cuts, and some even had to go to the hospital. And it was crazy. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I've never seen a product with this many. It kind of gets real mixed reviews. Some people really like it. Some people say do not recommend because it's dangerous and it cuts people. So I'm really interested to test this out. I think the cutting part will be pretty easy. Everyone says it's a real sharp blade, so watch out. It's definitely not a kid's product. You're going to want to, adults that, pay attention, don't get distracted, things like that. So just be safe when using this product, it looks like. But this blade rotates 360 degrees, chop, slice, mince, and more. Comfort grip, handle for easy use. Meet your kitchen or your new favorite kitchen tool. Let's turn it over here. Circular steel cut blade. Blade locking tabs, both sides. Brake secures blade for easy chopping. Perfect for the right or left hand. Keep away from children and pets. If your pets can use this, I'd like to see the videos. Always use caution when assembling or using the Samurai 360. Keep fingers and hands away from blade to avoid injury. Slow down when nearing the end of the item you're cutting. When not in use, stand or use blade cover. Do not use Samurai 360 if any of the components, locking mechanism, or blades appear to be damaged. Use on cutting board is recommended. So what you can do is you can slice. He's just slicing on top here. So you can cut, just kind of have the blade locked in place, mince, and chop. So chopping is when you're using the circular blade. Let's open it up, see what's inside, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, support my content, patreon.com/9malls. If nothing else, like, share, comment, share my channel with your friends and family. Also, you can review the products I reviewed on this channel on my Amazon store. That's all in the description. But yeah, Patreon's a great way. If I've saved you money in the past, consider supporting me on Patreon. It's $1 a month, and Patreon actually has subscriptions now. So you can support me for the whole year, $12. It's kind of a no-brainer. All right, enough of that. Let's open it up here. All right. So on Amazon, this is about $30. I think you can find it cheaper with some sellers, so you can probably find it about $20. But you have this blade cover, which is very important. All right, what else do you have? From the looks of it, packaging-wise, you can tell they spent quite a long time on the packaging. It doesn't look cheap or anything like that. And yeah, from the feel, just from the looks of this, like you have this little stand. You can tell they spent a lot of time thinking about, how this would look in your kitchen. It's attractive. It's nice. It feels nice. It's got some weight to it. It doesn't feel extremely cheap, and I like the two color tone. You have white and orange, which is kind of cool. And these little pegs, stands. All right, Samurai 360. All right, so that's the blade. Yeah, it's extremely, extremely sharp. You have the cover here. So if you wanted to put this in a drawer, even just covering this blade is going to be a little bit risky. There you go. But yeah, extremely, extremely sharp. Let me just cut this paper to show you how sharp this thing is. Or maybe I can't cut it, but we'll see. Yeah. That's sharp. That is sharp. Check this out. So this is definitely not a gimmick. You know, it does exactly what it says it's going to do. It's a sharp blade and it does cut. So I think that's why the reviews were mixed. People are getting hurt on the blade, but it does cut, so a lot of people enjoy it. And just to make my life easier, I'm going to get rid of some of this packaging. All right, so I'll remove the blade later, but when you remove the blade, you want to have the cover on. I'm just reading the directions, and you unlock it by clicking it up. So that's the first step. To lock it, you push down. So as you can see, just so if you want to know for at home, this is the braking mechanism. So this stops the blade from spinning. So you see it's spinning like this. You can stop that, and then you can chop, mince, whatever you want to do. But the brake is kind of hidden. It's right there. You just push on this, and that stops the blade from spinning. So I almost threw this away. This is the optional blade, the pastry blade, ideal for slicing through pastry dough or dough that would normally stick to other blades. Simply insert the blade into the opening casing as previously shown. So it's just kind of a little plastic blade that you can put in here to cut pastry. Pretty cool. Alright, so you're probably watching this video to see how this thing works, how it chops. So let's do that. I'm not going to use a knife to cut these big pieces. I'm just going to try to chop them and then kind of roll them with this circular slicer. So let's just try to chop this and see if we can do that. Yeah, no problem. Can slice through it really easily. This is a super large onion here. But yeah, all right. So let's see if we can start slicing through onions. Of course, we can chop them. We can mince them. You just don't want your hand anywhere near this thing. All right, so kind of chopped it, and let's try the circular blade here. And I can just see, if you roll over your fingers with this thing, you're going to do a lot of damage. It's kind of something to get used to, but yeah, you can kind of slide over these onions. It's kind of something that I want my hands out of the way, you know? Even though it doesn't work as well, it just kind of has a safety factor. Alright, so you can see that. Was it as fast as a knife? Initially, no, but could you get better at this? I would say yeah, probably. But it was extremely sharp. It did exactly how you, or performed exactly how you think it would perform, you know, a circular blade. So it did a job. It just, I don't know if it's faster than a knife. Alright, next, let's try this carrot. So maybe you have a whole carrot. Let's just assume this was peeled, and you want to chop it. So I'm going to use the brake here. And yeah, really easy to chop it. Alright, so let's slice the carrot using the wheel. Yeah, it works better chopping it. But yeah, no problem. Goes right through it. Let's say maybe you're making a salad, you want to chop this up even more. Just kind of slide the wheel. They kind of stay in place. Alright, next let's try the giant zucchini here. So let's put on the brake, chop it straight through. And yeah, you're going to kind of have to rotate this, but I guess good enough. Kind of have to rotate it. All right, so here we go. Chop it up here. All right, I'm gonna take off the brake. It's just kind of sketchy, you know, cutting this thing. I think there's gonna be special use cases for this, that this would work. And leave in the comment section what you would think this would work best for. I just, from my experience, I think even with practice, I think a knife's gonna be your best bet with most cutting. I mean, I think that's pretty clear with this test. But I want to see if I can take this blade out without cutting myself. And that's a lot of people have this problem. So, like the directions say, you put on the cover. All right. So there you go. See? This cover is a little bit tough to get on. Okay, there you go. All right, so here we go. Nearly cut myself. All right, so you unlock it. Then you can take out these little clips here. Or these little side pieces, I believe. All right, let me get some gloves on. All right, so yeah, there we go. So these pieces right here, if you're watching this and you're trying to do it at home, you unlock the blade, you pull out, and I would definitely recommend gloves for this. It's not something to really play around with. All right, so you pull out one clip, okay, and then as carefully as you can, you pull out the next clip here. All right, so there you go. Okay, now that you've done that, you should be able to take out the blade. Okay, there we go. So I don't think you have to do this every time. I think this would be a huge hassle. But yeah, there you go. You got the blade out. You can wash it. Check that out. All right, so put it back. Let's just assume that I've washed it. All right. So you have to kind of line it up. Yeah, okay, there you go. All right, there we go. There's one. All right, you kind of had to shimmy it a little bit. There's two. And you lock it in place. But yeah, I can really see how there's a lot of opportunities to get cut with this thing. So definitely be careful if you get it. Alright, so do I recommend the as seen on TV Samurai 360? The answer is I'm kind of on the fence with this thing. And the reason I'm kind of on the fence is because, yes, it does exactly what the manufacturer says it was going to do. You know, it cuts, it minces, it rolls. You can lock it in place. That works. It's a quality design, quality, you know, blade is sharp. It's quality blade. It looks nice. It's got this little rubberized handle. You know, it's pretty quality plastic and all that. But I can see, I can side with the reviewers because there's a lot of opportunities to get cut with this thing. It's not as intuitive as a knife. There's going to be a learning curve, and you definitely have to pay attention to this thing when using it because you may get cut. So just in this little review, being as careful as possible, there was a couple moments that I could have gotten cut. I was close to getting cut. And I think that for that reason, I think this is going to be something that if you have a really specific use for this thing, I'd say go for it. Try it out. 20, 30 bucks. I think it's, you know, it's a little bit pricey, but not too bad. But for most people, you know, the home chef, the home cook, I would just say use a standard knife. You're going to be a lot happier. It's going to be a lot safer. And did you see how difficult this thing, you know, I'm sure with practice you could take it apart easily. but it took a while, so it's not going to be, you know, I think that's a factor. You're not going to use it because it's going to take a long time to clean. So, and also there's a risk of getting cut. So I think if you have a specific use, it's very unique, and I know someone's out there that's like, they have a use for this, and they're like, you know, with pastries, as this pastry blade, you know you're going to use it for something, and you got a function in mind for this thing. Then I'd say that person, go for it. But if you're using this to replace your knife, I just don't think you're going to be happy. So let me know what you think. Leave in the comment section. What do you think of the Samurai 360? Let me know. And thanks for watching, everyone. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, family about this channel. Get the word out. And thanks for watching. See you later.